the story Nico told about the people in the bathroom is pretty interesting, and like a lot of people in this room, you see a good idea, you decide to copy it. And we brought a guy in, and he was kind of playing a disco beat, and I'm standing at the urinal, and I'm watching all these guys piss like this. It was really great until we busted a move. That's it, you're out of there. There's no more of that. I'm not going to stand up here and pretend that I'm going to tell you things that you don't already know about how to run your business. We were asked to come up with some things that we could share with everybody that from our perception was positive. And the first thing I want to share with you is that if you look at the business cycles that have been going on since they started recording business cycles, you will see that these times of stress, these times when we are down, they ultimately pass. And the good times come back. It's just like the seasons of life, or seasons where you go from spring and you have a summer and you have a fall and you have a winter. Clearly we're in winter. The best thing about winter in the economic situation that we're in is that there are opportunities that people take advantage of that they don't normally take advantage of. There's thought processes that start to develop because there's a real need to do that. I think we have an opportunity in this industry, and I think one of the positive messages is that right now, more than ever before, we have the opportunity to add value to those people who walk through the door. Do you know that studies say that 56% of the people in America today feel overworked and feel stressed? 54% of the people are totally upset and feel that they cannot find a balance between work and home. We're seeing one of the worst economies where people who had good jobs, who've done it right their entire life, have worked hard, went to that job, did what they're supposed to do, and they're losing their homes. We have the opportunity in our business to make a difference. We have the opportunity to reach out and touch other human beings. And I'm a believer, and I propose to you for your consideration, that if we take this mindset and understand that there are people out there that are hurting, and they come to our clubs to forget. They come to our clubs to smile, to feel like a man, to have someone look at them and say, you know what, it's okay, to enjoy the party that Nico talked about, that we make a difference. Now that's significant. And I'm not so sure that we've always thought about that. Maybe you have. There's a lot of people in this room who are a lot smarter than me. But I'll share a story that came from my past 100 years ago. And my first job in this business was as a male entertainer. And I know some of you look at me and go, you've got to be shitting me. But it was back before my chest slid down to my stomach. And I'm trying to get it to go one more notch and I can be a porn star, but it hasn't worked. So I was a male entertainer at a club in Southern Illinois. And we just danced on Saturday nights. We had couples that would come in, and ladies, and they had stages of women. So it was kind of anything goes kind of a place. And there was this lady who came in on a regular basis and was always the woman who would tip us. She would get personal dances. She was always there. She was like our biggest fan. And this poor woman was probably one of the most unattractive human beings I've ever met in my life. She was sweet. She had a good heart. But she's just one of those people who weren't blessed with physical attributes that you would look at and say she's attractive. And we became friends because she came in every single week to see us. And I ultimately asked her, I said, I'm just curious, why is it that every week you're here and we see you, we love you, we're glad you're here, but I'm just curious. And she looked at me and got very serious and she said, you know, Mike, she goes, I can go into a regular bar and no one ever asks me to dance. I go into a regular bar and no one ever buys me a drink. I know how I look, but I can come spend a couple hours with you and you make me feel beautiful. I want you to think about that a minute. We made her feel beautiful. We gave her a connection to other human beings. We gave her the opportunity to feel like she mattered and she was connected. How many people today that are out there in our society are coming into our clubs? Do you guys want to see women take off their clothes and jiggle their jigglies? Absolutely. Do they want to come in and party? Absolutely. And I would kick my ass off the stage if I said that that wasn't true. But what I also believe is that we have an opportunity to add value, to make a difference to other people. We have the opportunity to not only give them good service, but to put a smile on their heart. And where else can you go today and experience that? You know, 86% of the people who are involved in social media say they no longer have opportunities to interact with their friends as much as they want to. They would rather have FaceTime. In order to be happy, you have to have connection with other human beings. And I want to add another piece to this conversation. I'm aware of a study, because we commissioned it. We commissioned an independent research firm. And some of you I've shared this with. And what this study ultimately has told us is that going to a quality gentleman's club is healthy. Now, there was some bullshit that was on the internet a while back that said, oh, if men look at big breasts, their eyesight gets better and it's like doing 30 seconds of aerobics. Go to Snoops, you'll find out that's crap. But I can tell you, I tried a lot and I still need glasses, so it just doesn't work. But we had this research done, and the sources come from places like Duke University, Emory School of Medicine, Dartmouth, WebMD, the National Academy of Sciences. The sources are beyond reproach. And what they said is that when a man comes into an adult club, saliva tests have demonstrated that the interaction with those human beings, being in a sexually charged environment and being in a place where they feel safe, will cause their testosterone to go up. And in fact, one of the astounding things that we learned was that not only does it make their testosterone go up, is that it runs a very close second to exercise. Now, the question we've asked people is, you want to go do some push-ups or you want to come sit with us and have the girls say hi? That's not a hard conversation. So not only do we have the opportunity to touch somebody, when these guys come in the club and they're having this social interaction, and they're having the opportunity to meet these beautiful women who come up to them and go, gosh, Bill, great to see you. I'm glad you've got a great smile. Whatever cologne you're wearing smells good. His testosterone goes up, and another thing happens is his cortisol goes down. Cortisol is a hormone that gets secreted into our body when we're in a fight or flight mode. And it's a hormone that makes us have to be ready to rock, to do what we got to do. The problem is today, and I think this room, we can all relate to this, when you live life at a highly stressed level all the time, that cortisol is very negative for you. It causes you to age, it causes weight in the midsection, it impacts memory, and it impacts your ability to learn. So as the testosterone's going up, the cortisol is going down. Folks, that's huge. And I want you to think about, when we talk about positives, and maybe I'm the only one who's experienced this, but at least my experience in my little world is that I find that the ladies that I've worked with over the years sometimes have a little issues with self-esteem. It's difficult to get on a stage and take your clothes off. It's difficult to put up with some of the things that some of the guys who come into our clubs who aren't so nice have to say to them. But what a difference it makes if you can go to your entertainers and say, you know what? We're going to make money, we're going to create a party, we're going to have fun, but what you are doing matters. You're touching other human beings. You're maybe making that guy who just found out his job only has 2 more months and he doesn't know what he's going to do to save his family's home. You're the one who makes him feel like there's hope, because he can come in and for a few minutes forget about that. I think that's a positive story. And when you can go to those entertainers and say, let me tell you something. Not only can you touch another person's soul, make them feel like they're connected to other human beings, what you're doing is healthy for them. It makes a difference. His testosterone goes up. And I know some of us in the room, when I first read this report, I kind of smiled. I was like, you've got to be shitting me. I've always thought it was a good thing. I just didn't have the proof. But with low testosterone, in men over 50, men who have low testosterone are 33% more likely to die a premature death. Low testosterone has been associated with things like prostate cancer, high cholesterol, the myriad of diseases. So we're actually helping somebody. The ladies who I've shared this with, you can see a little sparkle in their eye. Because I think for one of the first times you can say, you know what, you're doing something that truly matters. Yes, you're entertaining them. Yes, the guys want to come in and see your parts. But you're doing something that matters. I think if we take that to heart as an industry and add value, data has demonstrated through business cycles and history, it's those businesses that learn to add value, that learn to make their customers happier, that learn to give them something and treat them in a way that they weren't treated. Those are the ones who can survive. And my belief is the fact that you're at the Expo, the fact that you're listening to these things, and that you're all here thinking about what I just said, says you're the ones who are going to survive. Thank you very much.